welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor and I am so happy that you're here. So as you can see by the title of the video, I am closing out our October budget. I am filming this on November 2nd, so we are not well into November, but my November budget is already done, so we have some catching up to do. But I will say that I tried to film this video a week ago and it didn't go too well, so we are going to do this now. We are in my Google Spreadsheets, something that I created. I also have my monthly budget here in my budget book. So I am a hybrid girly. So I make sure that I do everything in my book and then I transfer it over to my spreadsheet. So that is what we're going to do today. The spreadsheet is done. The only thing I need to figure out is once I do put it on my website for sale, just to make sure that when you're getting it, it does exactly what it's supposed to do. And then I have instructions for you and all that. So pretty much done. I just need to do some little kinks. I did add some things from a month ago. So the first video that I put out once I came back to YouTube after a break was setting up my October budget in this spreadsheet. So I want to show you some of the new things I've added, which is the spending tracker here, also the spending breakdown and the spending percentage. So I have added those things just to give you some insights into what has changed, just in case you did not see the first video. But anyway, let's go ahead and get on into it. My MacBook doesn't hold storage very well, so I want to make sure this video is put out. I will go over the ins and outs of the spreadsheet while I am putting in my numbers, but since we are closing out, we are only filling in the actual column. The budgeted column was done when I was setting up the October budget, which is a plan for how October is going. The actual tells me how October actually went. So you will see as I'm filling in the actual numbers, the left to spend is going to populate, which tells me how much I have left to allocate in certain areas. So I will explain all of that as we're going. So let's start with income. My husband made $2,441 this month instead of the $2,361 we budgeted. So he made $80 more, which is great. For me, I made a little bit less, $3,967. So, but hey, it's not drastic, but now I know not to budget $2,000 every paycheck. I have to just budget a little bit less. So now we know. Taylorbudgets, there was nothing this month. We have made money in Taylorbudgets. I just haven't included it in the October budget. Maybe November. $287 from my daughter's dad, and then miscellaneous was the $273. Nothing for rollover or transfer. So in total, we made $6,968 this month instead of $6,921, so $47 more, which is good. You can see that the left to spend has populated, which means that this is the income that the computer is telling me I need to allocate into the actual columns of my expenses. So as I do that, this is going to decrease. Also, this is my income summary. So for the actual in the key, this is like a dark terracotta, terracotta we're going to call it. And the budgeted column was like a light brown, like a sand. So what this chart does is compare your budget to your actual, which is what it's doing now. So you can see that the income for my actual income was a little bit more than my budgeted income, or our budgeted income. So let's get started with our bills. For total and tithes, it was $640 instead of $636, so $4 more. When it comes to the bills, if you actually pay more in certain areas, it's going to say a negative because obviously you don't want to pay more in a bill. But when it comes to tithes, it just means that we made more money so that we gave more to tithes, which is actually a good thing. Rent was $1,775, so no difference there. Lauren's dance was $108. Lauren's school was $230. Gymnastics was $80. Storage $82, so $1 less, which it says here, so $1 more. My car, I just had a blank, $457. My phone, I actually didn't have to pay this month, thanks to my mom and my brother. They took care of the phone bill for the family, so yay for that. On our family plan, it's my mom and I and my 2 brothers. So my 25-year-old brother and my mom took care of the bill. So I was happy to know that because it saved us $30. Life insurance was $51. My Apple storage was, where's that? It was $3. I don't know why I didn't click that. Legal Shield was $30. My husband's phone was $76. Internet was $77. Electricity was $78, so $3 more. It was only $3 more because I forgot about the convenience fee, which is $2.95. So next month I will make sure that I budget our electricity at the 78 mark, which includes the convenience fee. So that was my bad. My husband's car was $442. Renter's insurance was $18. Netflix $27. Apple Watch actually didn't come out. So it's a good thing that I have this budget and I'm tracking now, because who knows how long I haven't been paying for Apple Watch. I just thought I was paying for it and I actually wasn't. So now I need to go and figure out why and make sure I update the payment system on that, because I need Apple Watch protection just in case something happens. Let me put this on Do Not Disturb. Bam. Okay, SeaWorld was $16. Car insurance was $374. Peacock was $4. Let me click that. And the Union was $66. Okay, so for total bills, we paid $4,634 instead of $4,685. So we saved $51 in bills. That is also displayed here, $4,634 with a difference of $51. So that just transfers over from what we just did. And then it shows here that we have $2,334 left to allocate. And it also shows here that we were just about at the same mark for bills budgeted to actual, although it is a $51 difference because these numbers are $2,000 apart. It's not going to show a big difference on the chart. So, and where did my money go? This is a chart just for the actual column. It literally tells you where your money went. So if you click on it, it will show you that 100% so far has gone to bills, because that is all we have filled out for the actual is bills. So it's going to say 100% and it's going to say the amount. As we move on to the as we move on to the other expense categories, this pie chart is going to change. So let's go to variable expenses. What we spent in the month of October for groceries was $457, so that's really good. $143 less. Home stuff, $50. Eating out, let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb as well. $101. Gas 166. So we've been doing really good with variable expenses this month so far. Spending 220. Haircuts was 0. My husband didn't get a haircut in the month of October, but he just got one today. So that's good. Blessings, $10. Miscellaneous, 20. And unbudgeted, $173 unbudgeted. We're tracking our expenses, y'all. So you can see for the unbudgeted, you will be like, where did I spend $173? My expense tracker will show you. Unbudgeted, unbudgeted, unbudgeted. Unbudgeted again. Unbudgeted, unbudgeted. Unbudgeted, unbudgeted. And if you go to the spending breakdown, unbudgeted was indeed $173, which means that what I was tracking was correct with what I was actually spending. So I do my best to keep up with the tracker. I have a tracker in my budget book. I have a tracker in my wallet, and I also have a tracker on this spreadsheet. So I have 3 forms of accountability, okay? When you do decide to purchase this though, just want to quickly tell you that you will be able to change these categories. Like, I set up these categories for my budget, but once I do all the tweaks and things, I will put out a tutorial on how to change these for yourself so that it can reflect your lifestyle, and this side as well. So unbudgeted, let's see, is a dark blue. And if we click on it, it was actually 2.7% of our spending. Okay, so we spent $1,197 in variable expenses, which is $133 less, which is not bad, even with the unbudgeted that has reflected here and also reflected here. And now in this pie chart, 20.5% of our money went to variable expenses, 79.5% went to bills. Let's move on to, we're going to move on to debt. So for national debt relief, it was the 430. Let me check that off. IRS was the 129 and Affirm was the 42. That was a total of $601, which is here. Actual 601 for debt with a $0 difference. Right here in the income summary, it has populated. And here, so now you can see that debt was 9.3% of our income and variable 18.6, bills 72. So let's move on to sinking funds. So for the sinking funds, I cannot tell you what I have actually put in each category because I forgot my sinking funds binder. But I can tell you that in total, we saved $351 opposed to the $305 that we planned. So just for the sake of this video, we are gonna populate these numbers to be $351. Let's just say $51 went to Christmas. I know that we did put some money in car maintenance, medical, dental, Lauren, spending. Yes, I know we put money in those categories, but since I don't have I have my actual budget here. Okay, so I could add it up really quickly because I forgot I had my budget book, and when I close out every paycheck, I actually tell myself what I actually put in my savings categories. So let's add that up together very quickly. For Lauren, I put 93. Birthdays, I put 63. Holidays were 20. So that's 227. Okay, car maintenance was 65. Where's car maintenance? 65. Did we do Christmas yet? Yes. Spending was 5. Spending was 10 actually. So that's at 302. So we're missing a little bit more. Let me see where I missed. Oh, Christmas. I didn't calculate Christmas the right way. 70. Christmas was actually 90. Oh, I actually didn't even do Christmas yet. Okay, so we're missing $10. Where did I put that $10? Oh, I put it in medical dental. Yep, right here, 10. Medical dental. So those are the actual numbers for my sinking funds, or our sinking funds, 351. I'm glad I just did that with y'all. It just makes me feel good knowing that I, have been tracking my expenses and closing out my budgets, because I never used to do that, y'all. So 65 went to car maintenance, medical dental had 10, Lauren's needs had 93, birthdays 63, holidays 20, spending 10, Christmas 90, for a total of 351. That has populated for the expense summary. So that means that negative 46 tells me that we saved more. Even though it's a negative, it just means we saved more. And now savings has populated to where 5.2% has gone into savings. And I can't wait for the day where our debt percentage is less than our savings percentage. One day. Nothing for investments, so that's not going to populate. So how much do we have left to spend? 185. So I actually put in our monthly closeout that we have 185 remaining. Where did this go? Most likely to our buffer. It just kind of stayed in our buffer. The reason being is because gas was $14 less. That stays in our buffer because we don't spend cash for gas. Haircuts also, we don't spend any money for haircuts. Where else did that 185 go? I can't even tell you, but I know that we spent less than we actually made. I can say that we spent less than we actually made, and that shows here. So to close it out to a zero-based budget, I would just say that the 185 went to our buffer, which makes me feel like I want to create like a buffer category on here so that we can actually close it out to zero, so that our minds can be closed out as well, if that makes sense. So maybe that's another tweak I need to make to here, which I'm glad I figured out. But usually, maybe I should add like a buffer to the bill section. Yeah, I'll add a buffer to the bill section. Let's see if I could do that now. So for buffer, there's no date, and I didn't budget anything to go into the buffer, but let's see if 185 went into the buffer. Oops. Oh, it closed it out to zero. We could just do that and just say a buffer, just put the buffer in the bill section, just in case when you budget, you actually want to budget a certain amount to go into your buffer. But no, actually this amount stayed in our buffer, So maybe that will work. That's an easy fix to close it out to zero. So you can see left to spend is 0. Okay, so before I end this video, since we are all done, I want to show you the spending section. So any numbers that I put in here are going to populate to here automatically, which is a great thing. It took me a while to figure that out. But let's just take a quick look at the spending percentage. I wanted to track our tides, which is in this sand color right here, just to make sure we're actually giving 10%, which you can see we are 10% on the dot. Let's see, for rent, it was 27.8% of our spending. Bills was 34.2% of our spending. Groceries, 7.2%. Debt, 6.1%. So those are the bigger ones. So I wouldn't say it's too bad. I would love for us to get our income up, which I know we will soon. But for now, the fact that we are able to support our family is good enough for me. But yeah, that is our budget. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I'll be coming out with another video on how to work this spreadsheet once it's ready for sale, and I'll make sure I provide instructions and everything. But yeah, that is my monthly budget for October. I hope you enjoyed it. It's getting dark, so the lighting has gone down, but I love y'all. God bless y'all, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.